Previously on
Dungeons and Dragons. Our heroes began their battle against the tentacles. Because they dragged the chest farther away, so their grab it and run plan was no longer on the table. So it's a good thing Rune is apparently a monster, as he takes 80 turns. Oh, also, he's constantly surrounded by bees apparently. They've been here the whole time. Oh, also, he can apparently fly, as he just remembered. Meaning Chad didn't have to throw him earlier. Oh, also apparently he can also climb, swim, and breathe underwater, as he just remembered. By his power combined, he was able to instantly obliterate a tentacle. While Rune was remembering what else he can do, Chad jumped in the water to go after the chest tentacle. And that's when the main body of the monster appeared. Haku decided the best idea would be to back up and attack from afar to not get tentacled. And as it turned out, forming a perfect line with almost everyone else. The monster suddenly used a hydro pump, blasting 4 of our 5 heroes. Bullet, being the only remaining dry guy, was scooped up by the monster. Although, Bullet doesn't really care. Meanwhile, Chad had a very bad feeling in his gut. And then that bad feeling was everywhere as Duke dropped a fireball right on him, burning every single tentacle. And also Chad. Meanwhile, Haku was suddenly feeling very angry about being wet. It turns out that the axe that she took from the dead dwarf was actually cursed. And Rune suddenly felt like he was being watched. Remembering he could fly, he flew up and hid behind a stalag. Tight? Might? Tight? He hid behind a rock. Meanwhile, the monster decided he didn't want Bullet anymore and pelted him into a nearby rock, next to the angry murder woman. However, Bullet doesn't care. Meanwhile, Duke was the monster's new grab man. And with Duke distracting it, Chad managed to get up to the monster and started stabbing. Chad must have been feeling pretty good. Up until he wasn't, as Duke dropped another fireball on him. The monster did not appreciate all this fire and fired another hydro pump, pumping hydro all over Chad and Rune. However, it turns out that Rune loves water as if he's a frog or something, and continued to do Rune things. With the monster distracted by Rune's full chat log of attacks, Chad was able to climb up on the Hydra's back. Chad successfully finished off the monster. The fight was now over. Or was it? Duke for some reason decided now was a good time to teleport away. Chad jumped into the water again to both hide and to retrieve the chest. And the Heidi boys hid. With everyone out of sight, Haku went back to normal. With the fight finally over, our heroes managed to open the chest. Inside was a strange and magical metal fragment that seems suspiciously like it was part of a larger set. Also, a weird ghost-like projection appeared. He explains that our hero's employer was not telling them the true nature of the book. The book is actually a book of evil magic that makes the reader powerful and insane. Which is what happened to the guy our heroes are looking for, and he locked himself away, and the chest fragment is part of the key to open it. He said there's probably like 6 or 7 pieces. He also explained that he can't help them further because he's been banished off the island, but he does trust our heroes, having met and interacted with them before. He wouldn't tell our heroes who he was, but he did give them the description of his subordinate, who is in the nearby town. Once they find her, she will help them find the other fragments. Our heroes decided to leave the lighthouse and track this person down. On their way back, our heroes decided to split up for God knows what reason. And good thing they did, because as Chad, Bullet, and Rune were making their way through a pond, our heroes somehow avoided on their way. The remaining sea spawn that attacked the other party suddenly attacked.